Well, then just some ice and a beer.
Put some ice in a beer. What the hell's wrong with you?
Jeez. I hope you. I'm recording this, and that is forever enshrined on your character.
You're listening to Chicagoland's finest podcast, featuring the Gorehound.
Well, because I'm bringing us in.
Jen.
I mean, it's horrifying because,
Cousin Charles. And Nick.
I know. I thought I was going to screw it up again.
It's time for the all-new Culture Cast, starting now.
And, hey, Cuz, how about you lead us in this time? Because,
Okay. So do I say, welcome to the all-new Culture Cast, or I just go, I'm Cousin Charles?
your cousin... You could start with your Cousin Charles. Gorehound.
I just want to see where this goes.
All right. When Gorehound and I do our intro, then you say, welcome to the all-new Culture Cast. How's that sound?
Okay.
Nick, you get second credit.
Okay. So, all right. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the all-new Culture Cast. I'm Cousin Charles.
All right, we'll go with that. I'm Nick.
And I'm the Gorehound.
See, this is what happens, cousin, when we have you do things. You're supposed to say your name, then Gorehound and I say our name, then you say welcome.
Just like we do every week.
Oh, whoops.
But you know what? We're going to keep it because we're just going to power through this.
And we love you, so...
I was trying to get the order. I was like, is it name first, then title? Or...
I know, it's really complicated. We're just giving you a hard time.
So, all right, let's get this. Let's write this ship, or it may not be. It may be too late, but yeah, we're back. Hello, everyone, and today we're talking about a classic movie. Because this was your idea to honor the passing of the late Turd Ferguson.
Yes, if we had it my way, it would be a whole Burt Reynolds month, but, concessions had to be made somewhere, so I figured let's go with, I would say one of his most iconic roles, so I figured it'd be a good episode for us to visit. I haven't seen the movie. I don't think I've ever I may have seen it maybe when I was a kid, but, so this is me sort of revisiting it, and I figured it'd be a good topic of conversation.
What movie are we talking about?
Yeah. Well.
Oh yeah. If you haven't read the title on the link description, we are talking about the 1977 action comedy Smokey and the Bandit.
Yes.
Starring Kurt Russell, Sally Field, and Jackie Gleason.
Wait, back up. Did you just say Kurt Russell?
Stop it.
Burt Reynolds.
I don't know if you're doing this on purpose or... Oh, boy.
My answer is sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit. We're not going to talk about 2 or 3 because I don't think anyone wants to ever talk about 2 or 3. They're generally panned, but we're talking about the
Are they not as good?
Generally speaking, no. And I guess Kurt Russell, a.k.a. Burt Reynolds, is not even in the third one at all.
Oh, okay, that would ruin it.
Well, we're not going to talk about Are we going to talk about the Smokey and the Bandit TV movies that were made?
Oh yeah, they did make TV movies. Probably not. I mean, have you seen them?
Oh hell no! I don't have the time or the energy.
Well, then you're not a true fan. I don't know. What did you say?
Go back to your Star Wars cave.
I don't like new Star Wars because I don't like social justice and women are terrible.
I'd never understand that argument. But anyway, we're getting way off topic. We're turning into a Thor's Hour of Thunder podcast.
God.
Off to a good start.
Yeah. But anyway. Smokey and the Bandit, classic movie. I just saw it for the first time this week as preparation for this podcast.
Same here.
And Charlie, what about you? Said you think you saw it when you were younger, but you didn't really remember much of it?
I may have seen, like, I might show it to me maybe when I was like really, really little. But so but for all intents and purposes, this is pretty much my first time seeing the movie from start to finish.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we'll get on to the movie in a little bit, but before that, let's talk about one of our favorite topics. What have you been watching?
What have you been watching?
Gorehound, why don't you go first?
I have not been watching a whole lot. I am still feeling a little bit ill from last week, so that's been hindering me. But I watched a movie called Hush. It was just some random horror movie on Netflix, and it was okay. It was a home invasion, but it had a cool twist. It's the person being invaded was deaf, and so it added some little twists there.
Wasn't there a horror movie with a similar premise about a year ago where called Don't Breathe, where the person was like blind?
Oh no, that actually was Don't Breathe. That was a pretty intense one because that was actually a cinematic release.
Right.
It had the villain from Avatar in it, and that was pretty intense because that actually had like a darker story behind it. This was just,
Yeah, he was he chained up a girl in his thing. Spoilers, in his basement or something like that.
I mean, I can double you that the girl that he kidnapped, he also impregnated because the girl killed his daughter. And I'm like, that's how you do revenge.
You'll never look at Turkey Basters the same way again.
I'll never cross you then if that's that's your standard for revenge.
I watch a lot of Korean revenge. I'm reading Anna Kendrick's book, and based on a conversation with Kiwi recently this weekend, I am really trying to question whether it was a ghostwriter or not.
Oh, guarantee. All these big name stars have a ghostwriter to write their books. Not to say
need something other. I need some more legitimate person's opinion on this. I've been doing a whole bunch of research. And the reviews that I've read are it's fresh to actually see, an actress, actually write a book. But I believe that it's honestly a ghostwriter, but I want to see something that proves it.
Well, I guess Anna Kendrick, if you're listening to the show, I know you are because you and I, we have a connection that runs deep. Let us know if you wrote the book, if you had a ghostwriter for the book.
And then two other things, Lost in Space on Netflix has been keeping me entertained. And also, a coworker recommended a new podcast that is out right now from the same producers of Dirty John. This one is called Dr. Death, and it's about this surgeon who's just as messed up as Dirty John, and it's very intriguing. Very sad at the same time, and it has me gripping because I'm I want to know what happens. And the last one hasn't been released yet, but it's keeping me engaged.
Well, maybe a future podcast episode.
Yeah,
I will say
I've been wanting to also do the Heaven's Gate one for a while, but that as you can see, that's coming along very strong. Not.
All right. Cuz, what have you been watching?
I haven't really. I'll be honest. This past week has just gone by like a blur. The only thing I've really started that's new, besides that's new, is I started watching season 2 of American Vandal, which is like a show on Netflix. It's more or less a parody of Making a Murderer and all the kind of true crime, docu-series shows. But while it is kind of, immature and funny, this season is about have you guys ever watched the show before? Or?
Is it a comedy?
It is a comedy. Like I said, it's basically short version. What if Making the Murderer was about a high school prankster? Okay. I think the first season is about
a little bit more lighthearted and yeah.
I mean, it basically treats it as if it were like one of those types of shows. Like it's like you've seen those types of like docuseries where it's like we're trying to get an innocent man exonerated. Well, in season 1, it's like basically a school prankster who's known for like spraying dicks around his high school, and he gets in, and someone frames him for like painting dicks on all the faculty members' cars or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty funny, and like I said, I'm an immature 5-year-old, so I laugh at dick and poopy jokes. But it actually has a pretty good mystery element to it that actually kept me watching. I was like, I kind of want to know what happens next. So, in season 2 is dealing with not the same kid, but a whole different like sort of mystery crime thing. Still kind of treating it like a serious sort of like this is an actual crime, but it's still in high school. But it's got a lot of poop jokes. That's all I'm gonna say. The main antagonist is called the Turd Burglar, so if that sounds up your alley, there you go.
I like where this is going.
And then the other thing is me and Meg. Like I said, I started a couple nights ago. Starting to read some books again. I want to try get back into that habit. So I kind of set myself up pretty big. Me and Meg are currently reading.
Go Dog Go.
Yeah, Hop on Pop really gets me every time. No, I'd gotten this book back in at a college book sale. It's like some sort of print of like Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth. And I thought that would be kind of like a fun sort of way of like, because it's not very long, but it's like the chapters go by pretty fast, but they are very lengthy. But I guess that's kind of like how the writing was at the time. It's not like you read more recent books and they're very sort of cinematic in their approach. Here it's like I think like one of the chapters just describing who this person's backstory was, like all the exposition and just like pretty much their entire life story up until that point. So it's very sort of heavy-handed, but so far it's still pretty good. It's a pretty good read. So that's what I'm kind of working through right now.
Alrighty. As for me, I finally watched Black Panther. This is actually a few weeks ago, but
we had mentioned that. Yeah.
So,
welcome to 2018, Nick.
Thank you.
Hey,
appreciate it.
I'm on that same bandwagon too because I just watched that too. Go Netflix.
So I liked it. I don't see why people were really gushing over it in terms of a movie. I thought it was fine. It was okay. Nothing bad about it. I mean, but
I think the story was what really brought everybody's attention to it, and the villain was just wonderful.
They took the Iron Man formula. If you think about it, like bad guy is a evil version of the hero. They fight to be number one. Villain thinks he's won. Good guy comes back from under the bottom.
You talk about Mickey Rourke?
No, the first Iron Man movie.
Who is the villain in that one?
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
That's a long ways back.
That's a whole decade ago.
Oh, jeez. I had to look that one up. What was his his evil persona?
The Ironmonger. He made like a bigger version of the Iron Man suit.
Did he? Go Jeff Bridges.
And you knew his was evil because it didn't have any color. Tony Stark's has color, so that means he's good.
Wow, this was a long time ago.
We should do a Black Panther podcast since now we've all seen it, and we could talk more about this because there's lots of things like we could talk about with Black Panther. But
yeah, moving on.
Let's go on to our next one. Our very favorite topic is Man Crush.
Man Crush.
Is it Jackie Gleason?
No, I'm sorry. I've been feeling awful, and I completely forgot about it until you just said it. I don't think you understand.
You have one job.
Well, I mean, I also am a third of the podcast, so it's a little bit of a job. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna shove somebody into this one. Maybe something will come to my mind. But I'm sorry, guys. I failed you.
Disappointment. You have failed this podcast. So, all right, moving on, I guess. I'll save this announcement for at the end. But let's talk about Smokey and the Bandit, 1977's second biggest movie. The first one being a little film called Star Wars.
What's that?
It's a movie nobody's ever watched. Anyway, so Smokey and the Bandit deals with Bandit, who is agreed to do a bet almost, where he and a friend of his are transporting liquor across the country. Technically, it's a liquor that can't be transported across the country, and
I didn't get that. Why is it contraband? It's just Coors Light.
Back in the day, back then, Coors was not allowed to be sold east of the Mississippi River.
Why?
I don't know the full details, but that's a true law.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway, so they agree to go do it, and the idea is that one guy's going to be in the truck speeding, and another one's going to be in a very fast car, Trans Am, who's going to fish out the cops along the way. So the cops go after him, and while the truck goes by without being detected.
Yeah. So the biggest thing about this is that they say it can't be done, and then that is pretty much the only deciding factor that Burt Reynolds needs. Is he's like, oh, it can't get done? I'll do it.
Like, here, hold my beer.
Right. And I think
literally.
that is such the best premise to this. Like, yeah, it's a lot of money, but at the end of the day, it's like, you just challenged me to do it, and now that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah, which actually comes into play at the end, because they agree to go on another bet for double or nothing.
Right.
And he's like, deal. But along the way, they pick up Sally Field, who is a runaway bride, and her ex-fiance and would-be father-in-law are chasing after her and subsequently chasing after Bandit. And the rest of the movie is a giant chase sequence between this hillbilly cop played by Jackie Gleason and this cool character played by Burt Reynolds, a.k.a. Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
So,
and we also have the husband who is left at the altar.
Yeah.
Who is
Junior.
who's such a confusing character because he looks like a villain, like the villain from that George Clooney heist movie, Ocean's 11.
Oh yeah, like Andy Garcia.
I was like, he looks like a good villain.
He kind of reminded me of Timothy Dalton.
Yeah, but like as soon as he spoke, I was like, oh wow, they really went in a different direction.
He's a dummy. He's like, Daddy, where are they going?
Yeah.
He's like he's holding the hat the whole time when the car gets like.
Yeah.
So okay, Gorehound, I wanted to talk first to you about this because you were not looking forward to watching this movie at all. You were like, because Gorehound and I saw each other last Saturday. And
at Jen's wedding.
At Jen's wedding, and he was like, I'll watch it because Cuz recommended it, so I'll watch it. And you were like, it was like you were going to go get dental surgery done. But I think based on some of the messages you've sent since, you've turned around on it. So tell me your journey with this movie.
I was honestly just going to turn it on and just like do chores around the house. But I got like real hooked onto this. Like I turned it on and I was like, wow. Just
sorry.
Because I turned it on and like the opening song, I was like, oh, I'm in. it was so easy for me. Just because I do like that, like, really old school country music that's just, like, very twangy. And a little known secret about the Gorehound is that he had once considered a trucking career. Trucking kind of runs in my family, where my uncle and my dad, well, my uncle is a truck driver, and my dad was once a truck driver for some time. And so I was like, you know what? I could probably do it. And so, like, I told myself, like, I would resort to being a truck driver, like, if I didn't have a family or, like, anything going for me. Because I was like, that's kind of, like, the perfect single guy's life is just, like, hanging out on the road. And I was like, it's kind of, like, re-sparked that. I was like, man, this is fun. So, yeah, I really got into this. No chores got done during this movie.
So I take it then you enjoyed the film.
Yeah, I was loving it. Just everything about it. I think after like 15 minutes, I was like, wow, this is a classic, and it's just one of those classics where it's like it doesn't really get dull, kind of like in like T2, where you're like, just everything about the movie is awesome.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something was going to be dull in T2. I'm like, what?
No, it's just like it's just if it's slow, then it's like really intense. If it's like, I don't know, it's just everything about it has something about it that is intriguing. And the same with this movie, where it was just like, if we're getting a little bit bored with Burt Reynolds, then you have Jerry Reed come in, and you're like, oh man, this guy's great. And then you hear about Fred, and it's like, oh jeez, this is great.
I love the dog, but I'm also partial to basset hounds, so
yeah. So yeah, I was loving it. How about yourself?
I liked it a lot too.
This was your first time seeing it, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, same here.
I'm sure there's someone out there saying like, how come you've never seen those movies before? It's like, well, there's a lot of movies out there that are classics. I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen, but I liked it a lot too. I thought it was a lot of fun. Some weird movie choices, but I just think it's the style of movie back in the 70s that they just a movie wouldn't be made like this today. Like, there really isn't much of a story. It's just, it is a chase. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to know certain motivations or anything. The movie doesn't have like quite an ending. It just sort of ends, and then they run off. And it's weird. Is like all the cops are supposed to be looking for them, but it's just kind of like glossed over when they drop off the truck. Like, it's weird that no one would care about this, especially since he's pissing off a lot of cops at the end. But I don't know. And then, the cops start chasing after the truck too, so it's not like just the Trans Am. But anyway, those are details. You can't get caught up in that minutia because that's not this type of movie to be caught up in.
Yeah. I'm curious, does the second one pick up right afterwards?
From what I read on Wikipedia, no. It takes place a couple years later.
Gotcha. And it looks like no Jerry Reed either. Oh, no, Jerry Reed's in it.
I think he's like the staple in all three movies.
Gotcha. The Snowman.
The Snowman. So it sounds like you were a fan, Nick.
Yeah, I give it a thumbs up. I don't think I would watch it anytime soon again, but
really, because I was even thinking about watching it again. Yeah, because I watched it, and then the next day I listened to the soundtrack at work, and I was like, wow, that's good. And then I started actually looking up some CB lingo, and I was like, oh, I want to incorporate some of this. Because the title kind of bothered me from the get-go, because I did not know what it was referring to. And it was like, is one of them Smokey? Is one of them Bandit? Later to find out that Burt Reynolds' nickname is the Bandit, and Smokey is a CB lingo term for police officer.
I wonder why they call that cops Smokey.
I actually have an answer for you, Nick, because I looked up some trivia.
All right, doing the trivia early. It's trivia time.
It's trivia time.
The reason that cops are referred to as Smokies is due to the style of hat that they were wearing that was popular at the time, which looked like the same type of hat that Smokey Bear would use. That's why the cops are referred to also as bears as well.
Yeah.
The more you know.
And if you see a helicopter, you can refer to that as a bear in the air.
Do they say that in the movie?
No, I just have a list that I've been trying to get ready to incorporate.
And
but
like
a lot of this
in your daily language, you'll just like throw in CB lingo and hope people know what they're talking about.
But at the same time, this is referring to a lot of stuff that you only see on the roads. And it's just like, okay. So, tell us about your relationship with the movie.
Well, like I said, it's probably been. Like I said, I thought I saw it when I was a kid once, so that's why it kind of sort of lingered in my head. I think probably I knew more about the movie than, just kind of, it's like one of those films that sort of just like sits, I think, in the cultural lexicon. Like I think more people know more about that this movie exists and kind of the general idea than have actually seen the movie.
Yeah, because when I heard about it, I was like, I kind of thought it might have something to do with like Dukes of Hazzard, like maybe it exists in the same universe as that.
Right.
This was before cinematic universes existed.
If it was remade today, you bet your ass there would be a whole like Deep South cinematic car universe where.
Yeah.
But no, like so. Pretty much, I went into this with sort of like fresh eyes, and yeah, I really kind of like. I mean, it's kind of endured all these years. It's a really good movie because I think one of the reasons for that, compared to the last couple of movies I've seen at the theaters, it's very simple. It's very to the point. The characters are fun, but kind of like from the first 30 seconds you see them, you understand everything that you need to know about them. Yeah. And I think that setup alone just works for some great great visuals, some funny gags, some great stunt work done. Which I kind of read up a lot on the Wikipedia page, and it's the story behind the movie is about just as fascinating as the movie itself. Because this movie was basically made on a shoestring budget. Like they had. Originally, it was like a little over $5 million to make this movie, but then the studio cut it down to like $4 million, and then $1 million of that budget had to go to paying Burt Reynolds. So they basically had $3 million, and they ended up turning over. And I think it ended up being, like Nick said at the beginning of the podcast, it was one of the second highest grossing movies that year. I think it made $300 million in 1977 money.
So why was Burt Reynolds such a hot attraction? What was he popular for?
He was like the Robert Downey Jr. of his day. He was in a string of popular movies. Deliverance.
So he was already an established movie actor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deliverance being the big one. He was in
like I said, I've never seen a Burt Reynolds movie. So
he was in The Longest Yard, which was a big football movie. In the 80s, he was in Cannonball Run and the Dolly Parton movie, Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. He later on in the 90s, he was in the movie Boogie Nights, and prior to his death, he was filming the newest Quentin Tarantino film.
Oh, okay. Is that the Charles Manson one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not the Star Wars one? I mean, Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Star Trek and Star Wars are two different things, Gorehound. Get it right.
Nick, don't mock our audience.
I live to hold our audience in contempt. But
yeah, I have not seen any of those. It's curious that I've never seen a Burt Reynolds movie.
He also did I don't know if the right term is a centerfold sort of thing, where he posed either completely nude or almost completely nude in the 70s, which was a big deal at the time as well.
I can respect that. I'd do it.
So he was a hot item back then.
Good to know. All right. So what do we got going on with this? Oh, one thing I wanted to bring up. His laugh at the very beginning of the movie when he's sitting on this
zebra hammock.
Yeah, the hammock. That laugh got me off to a bad start. But after watching some YouTube vids, I think that's just his legitimate laugh.
It's kind of like probably it might be a not a catchphrase, but a
like a quirk.
A quirk or one of his things, one of his characteristics. Like Eddie Murphy has a very distinctive laugh as well that he uses. I don't know if he does it anymore, but in all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that was like the Eddie Murphy laugh, and
yeah. Okay, I can see that. But do you remember what he was laughing at?
No.
He was laughing at the weirdest looking person in the movie.
Little Enos?
Yes. What's with this thing? He's supposed to be the son, but at the same time, he looks like he's 60.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
I
think it was weird for the sake of being weird.
Okay.
Like, make a joke and everything.
Big Enos and Little Enos.
I also think that's kind of like one of the big charm of this movie is and you don't really see this in a lot of more modern movies. There's a lot of little small side characters that maybe have one or two scenes or have one scene, but where they have some sort of quirk, they have some sort of they have their CB radio handle. And I think that's what helps make the movie a little bit memorable is because they just pop up, they just go by, and then it just they just kind of come through the movie, and then I didn't put my thoughts together. I don't know. I just like all the little side characters that kind of pop in throughout the movie.
Yeah, and they don't really explain why this thing is so weird.
Right. I remember, you start off with big, the first scene of the movie is a very sort of realistic kind of scene of a truck driver getting pulled over and the cops are arresting him for transporting the beer. It feels very sort of within something that you could see in reality. And then the next shot is these two basically cartoon characters.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I was kind of thinking about this because I finished watching it last night. I was rummaging through my...
I'm impressed. You didn't finish it 15 minutes before the podcast
during your lunch
recording.
break today?
Yeah, it's a new thing I'm trying.
Planning ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but I was kind of thinking
we are
a
tearing
lot
you
of
apart tonight.
it's par for the course. No, I don't mind. But that's one thing I noticed. A lot of the characters that we meet after after Big and Little Enos are introduced are very cartoony, but kind of like a fun cartoon, almost like a Looney Tunes cartoon, where they just are just so full of life and vibrancy, but they also feel slightly out of place, in our world, but also very much fit in within this world of truckers and bootlegging and just, I don't know. I think that's one of the things that makes the movie memorable for me, at least.
There's a lot of quirky side characters in this movie, and those are two definite ones. And at the very beginning of the movie, Gorehound, like you were mentioning, they show someone getting pulled over with the Coors. Those were the previous people that the Enos's got to do that run, and they failed. And so they were setting up this is what will happen if they're caught. So right away you're showing what the stakes are for them, the danger that they present. So
I didn't connect those two, but yeah, that does. I can see that.
So it's called it's good,
Setup.
Good writing, setup and payoff. So,
but one of the other characters that we also have that I found very memorable was a 31-year-old Sally Field in this.
Yeah, who
I go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, Sally Field, I don't think actually ages. I think she looks like Will Smith, like Ellen DeGeneres. I think she drinks the blood of orphans to maintain, obviously she looks older now. It's 40 years later. But for the longest time, she aged very, very gracefully.
Yeah. But I kept on seeing Mrs. Doubtfire in her. Only because that's one of the few movies that I know her from. And just because it was such a stark contrast with the aging, I was like, wow.
You're like, You're like, I have to close the door right now, Graveyard Queen.
No, because it was almost kind of weird because I only see her as a mom from Mrs. Doubtfire, like nothing else.
Well, did you know that Smokey and the Bandit was a prequel to Mrs. Doubtfire?
Good one. And so, what is her relationship with Burt Reynolds like outside of the movie? Because as we all know, Burt Reynolds just recently died, and she came out with some statement that I did not read.
So in real life, they had a romance.
Okay.
And Burt Reynolds had said that Sally Field probably was like either the love of his life or his soulmate. I can't remember the exact term. Obviously, they weren't together forever. They split.
Not married.
Yeah, they split eventually, and but those two were like a Hollywood power couple there for a while.
The Brad and Angelina for a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's one way. Or the John Legend and Chrissy Teigen.
I was just going to think that. I was just going to say that.
Although Sally Field actually does stuff, whereas Chrissy Teigen claps back or throws shade, depending on which article you read from Yahoo.
Yahoo articles. Jeez. Is that the only one that you get on your flip phone?
I don't need... I read it off the real internet, not on my phone. Thank you very much. The government can't track me on my flip phone. So enjoy the government tracking you.
Not much to track.
Let's talk about the greatest character in this movie, who has the most badass name you could ever have for a villainous character. Buford T. Justice. Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
I.e. the Smokey of Smokey and the Bandit.
Yes, the titular Smokey. This guy is the quintessential hillbilly racist cop.
Yeah. Let's not. He doesn't have a Confederate flag on the front of his car.
No, he doesn't. I think Bandit has a Confederate flag somewhere.
He does.
But I think that's the state flag. I could be wrong. I don't know my state flags all that well.
Yeah.
But that's true. He doesn't have a Confederate flag. But when he met the black sheriff, he was like, "Oh, you're the sheriff?" And he turns to him like, "I don't know where this country's headed." That was clearly a joke, being like he can't believe there's a black sheriff and he's upset about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we can all agree he's definitely a hillbilly sheriff.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a good old boy. I think the quintessential good old boy. Also, I kind of wonder after watching this movie, and this might be kind of a weird connection. It may be true, it may not. I think some of the first couple seasons of South Park, I think they may have taken some cues from Buford T. Justice and applied it to Eric Cartman. Because there's one line where he's like, "Respect my authority." Pretty sure
did Buford say that?
I think he says it. He says something along those lines that made me think of. Did South Park take inspiration from Smokey and the Bandit? I could be wrong.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did. Like, those guys take inspiration from all sorts of things. So I wouldn't be surprised if some Smokey and the Bandit got in there.
Yeah, the IMDb page for quotes does not say anything about authority, but I bet he does.
I thought there was a line. I could be misremembering. Culture Cast community, you tell us. You tell me different.
That some bitch is. Blah, 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 blah. I like how he is saying some bitch.
I'll be honest. I had subtitles on the movie because I didn't want to wake Megan up.
Well, she wasn't watching it?
She was asleep. She was asleep on the couch. She started watching it, and then she passed out. But
she saw the mustache, and she was like, "No."
She's like, "I'm out."
We should all grow mustaches like.
Oh my gosh!
Burt
Convince the
Reynolds.
Graveyard Queen, and I will be a very happy person. Someday I'll get a mustache.
Just slowly grow it out, and by the time it's there, she won't realize that it's there.
Oh, she'll know.
And then shave off your beard and just walk around like nothing's different.
If only that worked.
I was trying to remember where I was going, but I was like, a lot of Jackie Gleason's lines seemed like slightly slurred, or do they just kind of like roll together where it's like, wait, what did he say?
Yeah, he seems like the guy who would drink on the job while he's driving.
It might have been a little of part of the character as well, but yeah, he is absolutely great. We need to see more of him. He's the only character that appeared in all three Smokey movies. Oh, him and the Snowman. But I was reading about this. The premise for the original version of number 3 was going to be where Buford T. Justice or Jackie Gleason was going to play both the villain, both Justice and the Bandit in that movie.
Oh, that would be great. I would love to see that.
But they were like, this is way too confusing. We can't do this.
Yeah. It's 1970. Let's wait a little bit. I would love to see that still.
So
kind of like a Mike, like an Austin Powers thing.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time with that.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Powers did it. Awesome, and I don't think anybody could really I've been wanting to watch that one again.
Austin Powers?
Yeah. A lot of great lines from it. And just Mike Myers keeps it fresh.
Yeah, but like number 2 and 3 were basically repeats of the first one. They repeated all the jokes and everything.
I didn't say the second or third one. I said the first one.
Just the first one. Okay, I thought you were talking about like the whole series.
No, because I mean, except for the Will Smith cover of Just the Two of Us, first one is good.
I don't mind the second one. The third one, outside the very beginning of the third one, where they do like the fake movie trailer.
Yeah.
The
Tom
third
Cruise.
One, yeah, with Tom Cruise and Danny DeVito. I'm Mimi. Ah! And awkward now, Kevin Spacey as Dr. Evil.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And Elizabeth Hurley was the second Austin Powers girl.
I thought she was the first Austin Powers girl.
Then who was the second?
Was it Heather Graham?
Yeah, Heather Graham, and then it was Beyonce.
That's right, it was Beyonce.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on.
Were there things that we didn't? Were there any things? I would say all three of us, kind of universally, pretty much had positive feelings about the movie. Were there things that you didn't like, or the things that kind of stuck out to you that wasn't really kind of gelled?
I mean, I think the only thing that wouldn't make this a 5 out of 5 movie was that it's still a little bit just too lighthearted. Whereas like a perfect movie, I think, needs to have like a great story behind it. and this story was just like a little bit too simple. It's very fun, but kind of just in like a comedy, kind of fun.
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of to the movie's benefit. Quite honestly, like I like how simple this is. Like you don't need to have a super complex story. It's just one big chase.
I think a good story is what makes it is a necessity for a 5 out of 5 movie, in my opinion.
I will say that one of my problems, I kind of mentioned it briefly before, is that I didn't like the resolution. Like there's like a lot of this buildup of a chase, and then it just ends, and that's it. Like with the Blues Brothers, like there's a huge chase at the end of that movie, but then there's not only do they get their goal, but they're arrested. Not that Bandit had to be arrested, but there's like no resolution to the chase from the pursuers. It's like they went into that field, or not the field, the racetrack, and then the cops were like, "Well, he went to the racetrack. We can't do anything."
Right.
And that was just kind of like
because their jurisdiction ended like 20 minutes into the movie.
Right. But even all the cops that are chasing them at the very end.
Oh yeah.
They kind of almost. Ending-wise, they kind of almost sort of tied everything together where, like, Bandit was like, hey, the real guys are, this tall fella and his pygmy friend.
Yeah.
Those are the guys you want. Like, that kind of sort of would tie it together, kind of like, our heroes getting away, big, Beaver T. Justice kind of sort of getting his man, quote unquote. But then it's like, nah, I'm not going to screw you over. Here I am, and then the chase starts all over again, which works, but then it's just like, well, what happened? Like, why? So they don't get in trouble? Nothing is resolved? It's kind of just sort of that never-ending chase.
Well, they're going to get clam chowder next, so...
18 hours, which, I don't know, maybe I'm not caught up in my geography, but I think the first one seems more possible, like 28 from Atlanta to, like, Texas, back and forth.
Do you know where in Texas they were going?
I think it just...
they were starting from Texas and going to...
No, they started in Atlanta, they went to, I think, the Texas border with Arkansas.
Yeah, wherever the booze was in Texas.
Yes.
Did they steal that booze? Is that the implication?
More or less, I think. Because Snowman doesn't... Like, Snowman's like, here's the note... Like, starts writing a note, and then he just, like, gives up. So...
Turkana, Texas. That's where they had to go to. So I'm looking this up right now. Alright, let's see how far it is. 666 miles from Atlanta to the Texas town.
Texarkana.
According to Google, it would take 9 hours there and presumably 9 hours back. So they should have been able to do that. But then again, maybe because it would be 18 hours.
Yeah, and maybe like a new expressway has been developed now or something.
True, but and they're in a truck that goes slower too, so maybe that's a factor at play. So
factor in rest stops and bathroom breaks and
yeah, and then let's see where were they going at the end? Then they're going
from Atlanta to New England to get a thing of clam chowder. And that was 18 hours. So we're going to do the math on this.
Boston. They're going to go to Boston. So,
that does seem weird. That it would only take you 10 hours to drive that. But they say 28 is really tricky.
Because, like, it would be like 20 hours if you go there and back. Maybe an hour to load up the stuff. But...
Yeah, because even if you drove... 10 hours straight, you would have to take quite a few hour breaks in the middle of them. Actually, I think maybe just like 3 hours total break.
Like
I don't
maybe,
know.
yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I looked.
I would take this. I would take this challenge.
Okay, so I looked it up. Atlanta to Boston, if you're driving, is 17 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay, so that's more of a challenge.
And so, yeah, it's 1,079 miles.
Is that two ways or is that just one way?
That's just one way. So how long were they going to have it at the end there?
They only had 18 hours.
So they would have to do it in half the time. Now that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Luckily, they could be in a fast car. They don't need a truck for the clam chowder. How are they going to prove they got it in Boston? They can you can get clam chowder anywhere.
Well, they want the real deal. I guess maybe like a receipt, but I guess these are the semantics. But
no, I need to know this. Hack
that's
writers.
Because I was like, okay, 28. I was like, okay, that sounds realistic enough. And I was like, 18 from Atlanta. Because I'm like, okay, 18 from like Atlanta to Boston. I was like, that does not sound. I mean, you'd pretty much have to fly in order to get from like Atlanta to Boston in 18 hours.
I wonder. See, I'm just going off of Google Maps here. I'm wondering how much, like, what's the average speed through this? Because if you're going, like, say,
it
100,
incorporates it.
What's that?
It incorporates it.
Right,
Google Maps incorporates the speed.
Oh, I know, but I wonder what the speed is. Like, if you were to input, like, I'm going to travel 100 miles per hour, how would that affect time or something? You know?
Yeah, they were cruising down the streets in both lanes.
Yes.
I think Snowman says in one line, like, I'm going like 96.
I was like, wow, you need to slow down, sir.
I love how, like, when Snowman is, like, peeling around corners and the truck just doesn't, like topple over like it probably should.
Yeah.
But,
oh, this would be a fun route to redrive.
Apparently they do that. I thought I was reading somewhere that they do the Smokey and the Bandit run like it's a thing.
I'd do it.
So, the Diablo sandwich.
Oh yeah.
What is the Diablo sandwich?
It looks like it's basically just like a sloppy Joe with taco seasoning and like a few other add-ins. But you know what's on the menu this week? It's a Diablo sandwich. I just texted the girl a recipe, so we're gonna make that happen.
I hate to break this to you, but
with lentils or some other vegetarian bullshit.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you knew that.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, beef. I forgot.
Yeah, beef is meat.
I guess sloppy joes aren't vegetarian, huh? I just did not think of that.
I know.
Thanks for reminding me, though.
You're like Brandon Routh in Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Well, what was it? Coffee, non-dairy coffee creamer or something?
I don't remember.
No, he drank. It was like, if I remember that movie, I think it was like Three Strikes. It was like he had like it was dairy coffee creamer or something. It was something like that, and I think he had like some random other things, like he ate a whole chicken or something like that. I don't know.
I remember the thing that did him in was like something really stupid. Like how did you not know that was dairy?
Right. That was a great movie, by the way. I loved it.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was top notch. The bee's knees. Despite Michael Cena in it. Michael Cera. I've just combined John Cena with Michael Cera.
That would be quite an interesting character. I would love to see that CGI rundown. But no, we could talk about that movie later.
Yeah. So did the Graveyard Queen watch Smokey and the Bandit with you?
She was not aware of it, but hopefully she will be aware of my my new CB lingo.
Are you going to make her watch Smokey?
No. No.
You don't think
Are you going to start?
She won't be like, that Burt Reynolds.
No, she does not like mustaches. It's like she sees a mustache, she's like, we're walking the other direction. Mm-mm.
are you at least going to wear a cowboy hat in everywhere you go?
I would if I owned one.
I know what to get you for your birthday now.
Oh man, you'd make me a very happy little boy and a very angry gray-bear queen.
You pull it off. You can pull it off.
I know, right? And I can pull off a mustache too. Tell her that.
You just do it one day.
Yeah.
You just do it.
I wish I had the guts to do that.
Well, I don't know. Do we have anything else to say about the Smokester and the Bandits?
The one thing I did kind of want to, the one sort of note I have sort of had in my head is, because I did look at a lot of stuff like behind the scenes because I thought it was kind of fascinating sort of reading through like how this movie was made, because the director of this was like a stuntman.
Hal Needham.
Yes. You also did you'd mentioned before, he actually did the Cannonball Runs movies as well. But the one thing I was kind of, and I think this is just because, I don't think this is necessarily a fault of the film. I just think 40 years of like other action movies doing different things with cars, is that the stunt work in this feels very mundane compared to like, I don't know, compared to your Fast and the Furious and compared to
but it seems so real too.
Yeah, like definitely like when they jump off the broken down bridge, that feels like, okay, how do we get this car? How fast do we have to go to jump this car?
Right, and most cars aren't going to make it.
No, you're going to like you're going to bust your back axle or something. But I think that's just kind of maybe just from my perspective, just sort of like being used to this sort of like visual wonderland where you can pretty much do anything you want, visually, like with with cars or with any sort of action sequence. It's kind of refreshing, but at the same time, it's also one of those things where you kind of notice just sort of how low key it is, if that makes any sense. Like you're not going to see anything too crazy, but at the same time, the way that they're driving, the way they're kind of driving also feels like dangerously realistic, if that makes any sense. Like kind of think of like the Blues Brothers, where it's like a cartoon, where that's like a cartoony car chase. Here it's like Smokey's pursued by maybe like 2 or 3 cops at the most at one point until like the very end. Or not Smokey, sorry, Bandit is. Bandit's pursued by like 2 or 3 cops. So I guess it just feels it doesn't feel nearly as like show-offy or like set piecey, or like set, kind of like where it's like, okay, here's our big stunt sequence. It's just kind of like, there's like little things that just kind of go out throughout the movie that, I think keep it fresh and interesting. But that was one of the things I kind of was thinking about. I was like, the stunt work's like pretty good, but nothing's like really like, nothing in it screams like, oh man, except maybe for the bridge jump, where it's like, that's like, something that's like, where you tell like they put like all their things into one basket. They kind of like sprinkled it about throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
It's definitely of an era. Like you will not find even this, as you say, like the simpler stunts, so to speak. You wouldn't see it today. That'd be all CGI. It'd be all CGI, ones and zeros, and
yeah, because I'm seeing these guys take their turns, and I'm like, that is dangerous.
I can do it. Here, hold my beer. So, all right, I think that'll about do it. Before we go, got a big, exciting announcement that the Gorehound and I will be attending.
I'm sorry, Kyle, the Gorehound. Boat ride.
I didn't know he was going to write it like that. I really didn't.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I just love how these things get translated and they just get perpetuated. And it's like, but that's fine. We got our spot.
Yeah, I thought when I gave him the name, like it was just going to be like, like how they say like, who are the panelists? But I didn't know he was going to list you like that. Anyway, we, the Gorehound and I will be at the upcoming Chicago Pop Culture Convention, which is going to be held on the Pheasant Run Resort in St. Charles the weekend of Black Friday, the Saturday and Sunday of Black Friday. So that's the 23rd, and 24th. We'll be there. We'll be hosting a panel on Friday the 24th. I'm sorry, Saturday the 24th. The show's the 24th, 25th. Sorry, on Saturday the 24th, and we'll also have a table. So if anyone here is listening and you want to come into our panel to talk about a podcasting, like how to do it, the ins and outs, all that, you should come and check us out. You could go. I don't know if the link is Google Chicago Pop Culture Convention, and you'll find the link and all the information there. So come check us out.
It's gonna be fun.
Maybe not this week, but in future episodes, I'll make a little commercial promo for the show. So that'll be fun. So
Don't you have something to be working on?
I could I could put together a little commercial. I got to edit this podcast because somebody can't do it this week.
Yeah. I'm busy and ill.
Whatever. If you were a true podcaster, you'd be able to do it.
Oh.
My priorities are shifting as the health of the Gorehound deteriorates.
I heard podcasting makes you healthier.
Psychologically.
So I think that'll do it. Gorehound, next month is October, and you know what that means.
Halloween.
That just happened. Yeah, Halloween. We're going to be looking at some fun Halloween movies during next month, I'm sure.
Yeah, best month of the year.
I know there's been some talk about seeing Hocus Pocus.
Classic. Some Halloween.
Yeah, so the original Halloween. Possibly the new Halloween.
Yes, the new one.
Yeah,
we don't ever have to talk about the new Rob Zombie ones.
No. I mean, I guess we could if you really wanted to.
We don't. Not really.
I just figured we'd look at the 77 one, or 76, or 78, or whatever, the 70s one, and then we could look at the 2018 one. And then, so we got some Halloween-y stuff coming up, so that'll be fun. Everyone likes Halloween. Remember we did Monster Squad last year?
Yeah. Did that kick off our Frankenstein?
I think it did. Well, either that or Victor Frankenstein, which I wasn't on.
Yeah.
But I did eventually wind up seeing months after that, so.
Yeah, so maybe we'll have a Victor Frankenstein part 2.
I don't think we need to do that.
No, we don't.
October has 5 weeks in it, so we can talk about 5 different horror movies.
Yeah.
And hopefully October will feature the return of Jen.
Woo! Yeah. So she has 3 more weeks to come back on. Before and after that, we can all start hate spamming her or something like that.
Okay. That's all I got.
You ready to close this bad boy out?
Let's close this bad boy. Cuz, do you want to close us out here?
I would love to.
Do you know how to?
I'm Cousin Charles.
I'm Nick.
I don't know.
We screwed it up. Joke's on us, cuz.
Aha!
Alright, this is the All New Culture Cast. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to the all-new Culture Cast. Check out our blog at znculturecast.wordpress.com. Send us an email at nick.culturecast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback, comments, and requests. Follow us on social media. Theme music by bensound.com. The all-new Culture Cast, a saltwater production. Original material copyright 2018. Thanks for listening.
10-4. Over and out. I honestly could not put in any terminology into the podcast. It's just very difficult.